are you waiting for to go see them? Go! Don't wait! We definitely cannot deny that the Japanese do have an art with their stories and horror movies. While this can be attributed to many causes, a culture steeped in folklore and ghost stories certainly helps. And you know what? Several notable American horror flicks are actually adaptation of these Japanese originals, including The Ring and The Grudge. J-horror as we call it, it is usually characterized by a steady build-up, protracted suspense, and unrelenting dread. Welcome to PatrolClip and stay until the end, because we reserve the best for you to look up today of the scariest movies from the land of the rising sun. Audition. As many horror fans, for you, what is the scariest film ever made is? A good chance it'll be Audition. That's what fan rankings have compiled. And let me tell you, they know why. The author Takashi Miike made a masterpiece not only for its nerve-wracking build-up, but also for its incredible performances and disturbing imagery. Shigeharu Oyama, a recent widower, is convinced by his producer friend to use a false audition to find the perfect woman. After many mistakes, Shigeharu eventually falls in love with the soulful Asami Yamakaze. The standout performance belonged to Ii Shiiyana as Azami Yamasaki. The love interest turned into a psychotic captor of the film. But it becomes clear that Asami is harboring some dark and disturbing secrets that Shigeharu begins to uncover. Shigeharu realizes his life might be in danger. This culminates in one of the horror cinema's most sickening, stomach-churning sequences as Asami graphically tortures him. A perfect balance of earnest, charm, and rampant sadism. Shigeharu, why didn't you try a better date platform? Tetsuo the Iron Man. Shinya Tsukamoto's cyberpunk horror classic, Tetsuo the Iron Man defies conventional description. That's partly why it's attained a cult following. A salaryman who one day begins a horrific bodily transformation into a twisted half-man, half-metal abomination. Blending with disturbing body horror with trippy, almost otherworldly visuals in an international car wreck of metallic insanity. Tsukamoto made the movie using his own accrued part-time income to fund the underground project. The production was long, difficult, and tiresome, but most of the crews aside from the actors departed, while Tsukamoto was able to complete the film, only to encounter disturbing issues. When it finally debuted, it receives an award for the best film at the 1989 festival in Rome, and went on to enjoy an unlimited but successful Japanese theatrical release. Some of the comments from local medias were, Tetsuo the Iron Man truly shows how great and subversive art can be, even on a short string budget. Guess the real Iron Man was the director, don't you think? Ringu. If you want to really set your fear on fire, look no further than Hideo Nakata's Ringu. Reiko Asakawa, a Japanese news reporter, dives into an investigation of a mysterious and potentially deadly VHS tape. Viewing the tape, the viewer gets a phone call that informs them that they will die in 7 days. So what's with the tape? Sadako Yamamura, a vengeful psychic whose soul now inhabits the tape, is the main reason for the paranormal activity. Ringu got a huge attention after the release of its American counterpart, The Ring. The film isn't just a great remake, it's also one of the best modern horror films. There were really poor entries of Asian horror movies after, but The Ring Yeah. Still highly regarded close to 2 decades later. Well, it's a rare feat within cinema when both a foreign film and its remake receive an equal praise. Well, someone wanted to make more money and made a sequel, Perfect Blue. The film, based on the book of the same name, is directed by the legendary Satoshi Kon. He kept certain elements of the book intact, but Kon was given the carte blanche to do whatever he wanted. Mima Kirigoe, who after making the transition from pop idol to actor, begins to question everything. Not only is she being followed by an obsessive stalker, but her perception of reality is beginning to deteriorate.
Agency held a party for me. It was terrific. Coming home, I went grocery shopping at the usual store. I bought myself mineral water and milk. I get the best water and the milk just has to be cow brand. It's rolling. Where did this come from? How do they know so much?
Excuse me, who are you? Excuse me, who are you?
Excuse me, who are you?
Through its expertly timed animation and hunting score, the film has you second-guessing yourself as much as Mima is. Many have identified various themes such as one's own identity and the perceptions that come with the fame. Director Darren Aronofsky, who has talked about this film frequently, and bought the rights to the film to use the bathtub scene in his own film, Requiem for a Dream. He has even acknowledged the similarities between Perfect Blue and his own film, Black Swan. Ichi the Killer. Adapted from a horror manga by a manga writer and artist Hideo Yamamoto, Ichi the Killer might even be more sadistic than Takashi Miike's Audition. The film follows the titular Ichi, a mentally warped and sexually repressed man who derives pleasure from violent actions, who gets caught up in a deadly Yakuza rivalry and pursued by a masochistic enforcer.
死んだらどうすんだよ。
This film has been described as one of the most violent films of all time, and it definitely deserves the distinction. From countless acts of bodily dismemberment to sadistic torture and heinous sexual deviance, Ichi the Killer will make anyone squirm and really makes your eyes pop. Ichi the Killer made its debut at the 2001 Toronto International Film Festival as a part of their Midnight Madness selection. The creators of the film provided Ichi-branded puke bags for those who attended to the film. Whew. Distribution to other countries became a problem due to the film's unrelentingly shocking content, heavily cut down in some locations like Hong Kong, and an outright ban in Norway and Malaysia. Despite this increasingly notoriety, some critics did uncover the film's narrative intentions, even under its perverse and viscerally sickening exterior.